Not just the Mercy Watchers, but everybody. Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Ludwick from the University of St. Thomas in Houston, and today we are in beautiful Napa, California for the Napa Institute's annual conference, and I have the great privilege of talking with Kyle Pietrantonio, who is from Duke in Altum School Collaborative. So Kyle, hi and welcome.
Thanks, Richard, for having me. It's a pleasure to talk.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated by your organization and your work and how it is coming together to really foster community. So tell everybody what the premise is and how you're working.
Yeah, so DIA Schools began about 8 years ago when I and 4 other Catholic school presidents from different parts of the country got together. We had a few experiences by, I think, God's providence. One happened to be at the Napa Institute 4 years into Napa. And we walked away from that experience connecting here and saying, our Catholic school K-12 leaders and campus ministry teams need a program like Napa to build fellowship, solidarity, to be empowered and inspired by the intellectual rigor of our church in dealing with the cultural battles that we confront in our Catholic schools every day. Fast forward a bit, Archbishop Aquila caught wind of what we were kind of brainstorming, and he invited us out to Denver back in 2014 and said, listen, why don't you guys have a whiteboard planning retreat and see what comes of this idea? And out of that, with a lot of prayer and reflection and some whiteboarding, came the blueprint for what we know as DIA schools. And we really saw a niche and a dearth in the market for a lot of leadership development for K-12 leaders who wanted to basically, as our name implies, cast out in the deep, do the heavy lifting, and change the paradigm of their school to be a center of evangelization. So not just for students who are the center of a school's mission, but how are we reaching to parents and walking and forming them? How are we forming our faculty and developing intentionally faculty formation and evangelization programs, alumni, boards, every stakeholder group kind of around the nucleus of a school, almost becoming a parish-like paradigm for a school. And as a way to re-church our church when there's growing disaffiliation, right?
So it's the place where there is this great connection. You know, that sounds a whole lot like what we try to do at University of St. Thomas in Houston, where we have, you mentioned the word stakeholders, right? We have all these different groups and they're all connected through the university. And so if we can use that as the conduit through which that connection, those connective fibers grow stronger, right? Isn't that really the model that the Holy Trinity gives us in communio, right? Where there is this virtuous cycle of love and there is 3 in 1, and it's the same thing for our community. So thank you for doing that. That's terrific.
It's been wonderful work.
So how does it, give us a little bit of the secret sauce, right? About how that all works.
Yeah, so it's been really organic in its growth and development. So in the early years, we didn't have a staff. We were a board who were all busy school presidents at the time. And we said, all right, let's commit to doing one thing well and see where the Spirit takes this apostolate. And again, using a lot of the framework of the Napa Institute, including some of the awesome speakers they get, we blueprinted a Napa Institute-like program every October around JP2's feast day. We call it the Summit. And we move it around the country, and we leverage schools that have become part of our network to host the school, to host the summit, to keep costs down. And out of that, Richard, came a desire for these schools, like, we want more of this. And much like how Napa grew, and they're doing more outside of this few-day event. And so 2 years ago, we evolved into a membership model. We've hired staff. I came on as an executive director around that time. And now schools are joining in to this membership model all across the country to take part in programming, take advantage of services, consulting, and others. To leverage the collective wisdom of schools that are doing some amazing work for our church. and helping teach and grow other schools in that same vein.
This just sounds incredible, right? So you're providing this resource with real tangible takeaways,
Right.
but also, I'm guessing, a strong network so that people don't feel like they are alone out in the deep.
Precisely, yes.
But they are in the deep together,
Yep.
right? And building a terrific understanding of how we can support one another. So how many schools do you have right now kind of engaged?
Yeah, so we just concluded our second year with a membership model, and we have over 30 schools that have plugged in, which we were very excited and surprised by initially. But and it's a diverse tapestry of schools, which is also beautiful because that enriches a lot of the discussion and collaboration among the schools. So we have lay, independent kind of Catholic models. We've got diocesan models, elementary and secondary, ordered, sponsored, co-ed, and single sex. So it really is a diverse tapestry of schools. But the thread that ties them all together is the leader who's committed to making their school a furnace of formation.
Right.
And,
I love that furnace of formation. That's really cool.
That is the fulcrum point for DIA and those connections.
Well, you know, and as our church in America continues to become I think an accurate reflection of God's great diversity in the human family, right? I think this gives us an opportunity to build those communities throughout the span of American Catholicism.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, thank you so much. And
Yeah,
thank you all for being with us today. And God bless you.